Hello and welcome to Galaxy Primetime News. My name is Nedwarangi Mazaka and we begin with the headlines. President Bola Tinubu describes his visit to Beijing as very good and successful. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited denies claims that it is responsible for the recent hike in petrol. On the foreign scene, at least 5 people, including 1 civilian, have been killed as violence flared between 2 warring ethnic communities in the restive northeastern Indian state of Manipur. Details of these and more will come to you shortly. To stay with us. And now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu on Friday in Beijing rounded off his official engagement in China by meeting with Nigerians living in the country, describing his visit as very good and successful. Addressing members of Nigerians in diaspora organization in China, NIDO China, and the Nigerian community at the China World Hotel, the president emphasized his effort to strengthen cooperation in infrastructure, trade, finance, energy, green economy and mining during his discussions with President Xi Jinping, Premier Li Qiang, and his participation at the 2024 summit of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation (FOCAC). President Tinubu also emphasized the importance of discipline and commitment to national service, citing China's disciplined society as an example for Nigerians to follow. Highlighting the impact on investment in China's economy, President Tinubu assured Nigerians in diaspora that Nigeria's Bank of Industry is prepared to collaborate with them to leverage opportunities back home. To the applause of the audience, President Tinubu stated that one key takeaway from his visit to China is a commitment to replicate China's infrastructure back home. The president noted that while it is not always easy for a leader to have a national consensus in issues, he is ready to take the hard decisions to move the nation forward.
It has been a very good trip, successful partnership, pushing for Nigeria in progress. And we have governors here. I don't know whether you've introduced yourself before I came in, but honorable ministers, they've given you some insight into what we're trying to do.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu says his administration is dedicated to providing more modern equipment and resources to the Nigerian police force to enable it to discharge its duties, responsibilities more effectively. Tinubu said this on Saturday at the graduation ceremony of the 578 students of Nigeria Police Academy, Wudil, Kano State. The president urged graduates to adhere strictly to the ethics of modern policing in the discharge of their responsibilities. Represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, Tinubu emphasized the importance of shunning corruption and upholding the highest level of professionalism. He expressed confidence that the officers had received enough training both academically and professionally to make a positive impact on the country's security architecture. Tinubu assured that the federal government will continue to support the academy, which he describes as one of the best training grounds for police officers in sub-Saharan Africa. The president charged the new officers to prioritize the nation's interests and discharge their constitutional responsibilities and to work with dedication and commitment. He also appealed to them to remain vigilant and uphold the ideals of the police, focusing on effective service delivery.
The core objectives of the Academy is to produce an ideal superior police officer who is equipped with knowledge and skills to face the challenges of policing in an increasingly complex Nigerian society.
This is a day of great pride and reflection. A milestone in the noble journey we are about to embark upon in service to our beloved nation. The event we witness today is the culmination of months of rigorous training, both mentally and physically. It is just not a moment to celebrate academic or professional attainment, but rather a testament to your unyielding spirit of commitment, perseverance, and dedication to duty.
The special advisor to President Bola Tinubu on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, has stepped down from his role with immediate effect. In a statement issued by the presidency on Saturday, Ngelale said he had submitted a memo to the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, informing him of his plan to proceed on indefinite leave. Ngelale added that he has stepped down as the Special Presidential Envoy on Climate Action and Chairman of the Presidential Steering Committee on Project Evergreen. According to Ngelale, he stepped down from his role to deal with medical matters presently affecting his nuclear family. The statement states that on Friday, I submitted a memo to the Chief of Staff to the President informing my office that I am proceeding on an indefinite leave of absence to frontally deal with medical matters presently affecting my immediate nuclear family. While I fully appreciate that the Chief of State waits for no man, this agonizing decision entailing a pause of my functions as a special advisor to the President on media and publicity, an official spokesperson of the President, Special Presidential Envoy on Climate Action and Chairman, Presidential Steering Committee on Project Evergreen, was taken after significant consultations with my family over the past several days as a vexatious medical situation has worsened at home. He said he looks forward to returning to full-time national service when time, healing and fate permits, and respectfully asks for some privacy during this time. Following the increasing cost of living in the country occasioned by the incessant increase in prices of fuel, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been advised to prioritize the needs, feelings and well-being of the masses. Not only that, Nigerians have been advised to remain resolute and patient for the situation to be adequately addressed. The Democratic activist Chief Tony Okocha, who made the appeal while speaking at the sideline of awards presentation to notable Nigerians, assured President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is working diligently to find lasting solutions to the issues. He emphasized the need for understanding and cooperation during this challenging period, expressing confidence in the President's ability to address the situation effectively. Okocha further called on political leaders in the country to always lead by good examples, noting that no matter how long, leaders will give account of their stewardship. He restated the commitment to the APC's ideals as well as dedication to promoting democratic values. On his part, the president of the All Progressive Congress Youth League, Olamide Lawal, described the Rivers State chairman as an exceptional leader for his dedication to mentoring youth and bridging the gap between the old and young generations.
I'd like to start from a very negative part. Some of us are learned and are taught to be critical. And the negative part is what a few of us under the forum of chairman shares, that we must tell our president. And I also want to pass that on to all of us. That this fuel, high, and kill our party. Hello? Hi. So we must let the president know that it's not in our interest.
Anytime that I see a youth-loving person, I'm always very happy, because that is what is lacking in our society. Our society is lacking mentors. There's now a large gap between the young people and the older generation. But whenever you see someone, a personality, offering himself to mentor young people, that is the person that is creating a brighter future for the country.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has denied claims that it is responsible for the recent hike in premium motor spirit, commonly called petrol, in the country. The company said the pricing of petroleum products from any refinery, including the Dangote Refinery Limited, is determined by global market forces, stating that there is no guarantee of lower prices associated with domestic refining of the products in the country. The NNPC stated this on Saturday in reaction to rumors that it is attempting to monopolize the offtake of all products from the Dangote Refinery. In a statement titled "NNPC Limited Not the Sole Off-Taker Market Open to Lower Prices from Any Domestic Refinery," the company's Chief Corporate Communications Officer, Olufemi Shoneye, said the attention of the NNPC Limited has been drawn to a press release by the Muslim rights concern Murik, which claims that the Dangote Refinery Limited is being undermined by actions of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. The NNPC further emphasized that there is no guarantee of lower prices associated with domestic refining compared to any global parity pricing framework, as confirmed by the DRL. The NNPC said it cannot undermine a business in which it holds a $1 billion stake. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) Limited on Tuesday morning increased its pump price of fuel from 617 naira per litre to 897 naira per litre. 2 days after, it cried out that the burden of petrol price has pushed it into over 6 billion naira debt. The increase, which is over 45%, has since been reflected at the NNPCL retail stations in Abuja. Correspondent Nabuchi Okenabuchi examines the feelings of residents in the FCT. The report. Just a little above 1 year after President Tinubu removed the petrol subsidy when he became president, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited has increased the pump price again, this time to almost 1,000 naira a litre. As usual, the National Oil Company did not make any announcement nor inform the public of their plan, just like in May 2023, only for residents to wake up to the news. It's no longer news that the first increase caused immediate inflation, making food items, goods and services rise astronomically. Today's increment also caused disaffection and hardship for the residents who were seen stranded and confused, not knowing what to do next. No doubt, the increment angered them to the extent of avoiding interviews by the media. But those who agreed to respond to the question expressed disappointment that the government could allow such an insensitive fuel price increase when the effect of the former increment is still biting harder. They demanded immediate reversal of the increase to better cost of living for citizens.
The way this government they do us is very, very bad. Though. The fuel now is I won't buy fuel now. Is 897 naira per litre. As I won't buy fuel now, 20 litres will be 20,000. I will feel cope about the people they are carry for the road.
Very terrible. I feel frustrated. If it is possible, I would explode. But I don't have a choice because Nigeria, they succeeded in caging us. They succeeded in frustrating us. If you complain, they will arrest you. Whatever you do, you are in trouble. So that is what we are right now. We don't have a choice in the matter anymore.
Disappointing to hear or realize that a country that produces oil, citizens are suffering like this. This is not what we appoint our leaders for, and this is so disheartening. How can a litre, the pump price of litre in Nigeria as it is now, 617 naira before? How can you take the price from 617 naira to 897 naira? Let's almost 900.
There's nothing that happened in Nigeria that we don't feel bad. We always feel bad, especially when it's something that goes up and does not come down. The increase in fuel is going to affect all ramifications of life in Nigeria. The food, transportation and the rest of it.
Actually, we are not happy over it. We are not happy because nobody prepared for this. All of a sudden we heard the news, so we are not happy. Even if you look at the faces of many people on queue now, they were not smiling on their faces. To reduce it and make things come down drastically.
It is true that the prices are being determined by the market forces. Nigerians, however, wonder why government is not providing enough palliatives to cushion the effect of the former increase on fuel price to allow another increase. While they advise the government to be more considerate with their plans and actions, they advised it to work in synergy with the Dangote refinery to source fuel and make it available to ameliorate the suffering of the masses.
The scarcity, the price of the fuel is unbearable. It's unbearable for the citizens of this country. We have never seen it like this before. And it's quite unfortunate that a government that came in with promise of hope, the little hope that we have before, is being dashed.
My message to federal government is this: they should try and bring the fuel down to as low as 100 naira per liter. To as low as 100 naira per liter. Let them try and bring the fuel down to as low as 100 naira per liter.
I don't think there will be problem will be solved. They know, the government know where the problem is lying, and they too know what to do and make the masses at least get comfort.
Despite the increase in the pump price, what is surprising to many is the long queues at the filling stations. Question bogging the minds of Nigerians now is, why the long queues at the filling stations? How do black marketers get access to petroleum products? Nigerians want the government to act fast to prefer solutions to the worsening situation before it's too late. You're still on to Galaxy Primetime News, and coming up next. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) says the recent hike in price of petrol will not affect the conduct of the Edo governorship election. It is a reason more we come to you shortly. Do stay with us. We're glad to have you back. Now for more update and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at GalaxyTV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GalaxyTV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GalaxyTV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at GalaxyTV. You can also avail our Eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. If you have breaking news around you, simply share a story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 018-666-6669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate a live update and comment, as you can easily scan our IG QR code. And now to carry on the rest of the stories. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has reiterated commitment to ensuring that the governorship election in Edo State is conducted smoothly and with the highest standard of integrity. The National Commissioner Information and Voter Education Committee, Sam Olumekun, made the assurance while addressing journalists ahead of the upcoming governorship elections in Edo State. The National Commissioner, INEC, who was represented by Director of Voter Education, Mary Nkem, said all preparations are on course to ensuring the election is seamless and reflects the interests of the electorate in the state. While acknowledging the role the media played in ensuring veritable and timely information reached the populace, Nkem also urged the media to remain as steadfast against misleading and fake news that could incite tension and disrupt the electoral process.
On turn in its efforts to guarantee that this election will be conducted with the highest standard of integrity. As we are aware, we have intensified our engagements with stakeholders at the state and local government levels, while voter education is still ongoing at all levels. The training of security personnel has been concluded, while the training of hard staff, that is the supervisory presiding officers and assistant presiding officers, commences today.
Speaking further, Nkem assured that the Commission is committed to strengthening the capacity of persons with disabilities and advance their right and participation in the electoral process in Edo State.
Measures that the Commission put in place. For instance, when the presiding officers are trained, they are always told that, yes, a particular area is marked as a polling unit. When they get there, and there are PWDs, they know how best to set their cubicles and tables and so on in order to make it friendly for people to move in and out of the polling unit without any restriction.
Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says the recent hike in price of petrol will not affect the conduct of Edo governorship election. The Chief Press Secretary to INEC, Chairman Rotimi Oyekami, said this while fielding questions from newsmen during the pre-election news conference in Abuja. He said the Commission was already meeting with officials of National Union of Road Transport Workers on the new development. He said that the Commission in the last couple of days met with officials of the NURTW to discuss the matter and a resolution was reached on the Commission's preparations for persons living with disabilities participation in the exercise. He said INEC would continue to do its best for the PWDs to exercise their franchise. He said that though the facilities, mostly public ones such as schools used for polling units, may not be purposely built for PWDs, the electoral officers have been trained to offer the needed assistance to them to cast their vote. The CPS also said that INEC had put measures in place to prevent cases of pre-filled result sheets witnessed in Kogi do not reoccur in Edo or future elections anywhere in the country. The Ogun State Independent Electoral Commission has amended the age qualification for candidates in the forthcoming local government elections, reducing the minimum age from 30 to 25 years. The amendment follows a review of the laws governing the conduct of local government elections, bringing the guidelines in line with Section 7, Subsection 4 and 106 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which stipulate that a candidate is qualified for election if he or she has attained the age of 25 years. Following these adjustments, the OGSIEC has extended the deadline for each party's primaries by 1 week. The primaries, initially set to end on Monday, September 9, will now run until Monday, September 16, 2024. Political parties have already conducted their primaries, may collect the necessary forms for each of the candidates starting from Tuesday, September 10, 2024, with submissions accepted between Monday, September 16 and Friday, September 20, 2024. Additionally, a meeting with all political parties has been scheduled for Monday, September 9, 2024 at the Commission's headquarters, Abeokuta, at 12 noon. The member representing Basa Jos North Federal constituency of Plateau State in the House of Representatives, Honorable Daniel Asama, has hailed the appeal court judgment affirming his electoral victory as a triumph of justice and the people's will. Following the Court of Appeals Abuja ruling on Friday, which upheld the National Assembly Election Tribunal decision declaring him the winner of the by-election, Asama, who addressed journalists on Saturday, pledged effective representation for his constituents. He said the victory is an indication of the commitment of the appeal court to justice and upholding the will of the people. The lawmaker vowed to attract development to the area and enact laws promoting progress and stability nationwide.
At this point, I want to say this victory is a testament to the power of democracy and the rule of law. I remain committed to the people of Basa Jos North Federal Constituency, and I want to also express my heartfelt appreciation to the legal team that led to this able success.
Honorable Asama, however, expressed gratitude to God, his constituents, and the people of Plateau State for the unwavering support. He also thanked Plateau State Governor Barrister Caleb Mufwang for his support and commitment to democratic values, acknowledging the governor's leadership qualities, which includes respecting the people's will. He called on his opponents to acknowledge God's will and join him in moving the federal constituency forward.
I want to sincerely extend my hands of fellowship to my comrade and friend, Mohammed, aka Don London. He is called Mohammed Gwani. This is the end of the tussle.
Arewa Youth for Peaceful Coexistence has countered the claims by the leader of Ijaw Nation, Edwin Clark, on Rivers crisis, and the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory Administration, Nyesom Wike, and present a factual narrative on his statement. Recall that Edwin Clark called for the sack and arrest of the FCT minister in relation with the political crisis in Rivers State. The group, at a press briefing in Abuja on Saturday, said the call for arrest of the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, by Edwin Clark was baseless and a political attack on the minister. They called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu not to allow the political crisis in Rivers State affect his peace deal.
Politics is a game of interest. The Arewa Youth for Peaceful Coexistence wishes to remind Mr. President that the primary aim of this actor supporting the emboldened Governor Simfubara is to gain full control of Rivers State, to gain full control of Rivers resources, to stage a political formidable fight against the president in 2027.
Drug addiction and trafficking among youth, who are mainly students, have been a major concern for the Nigerian government. This is coming as the Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, is proposing a mandatory drug test for students in Nigeria universities and higher institutions to check the menace in this report. Our correspondent Dele Fasan takes a look at the proposed drug test amid reforms by the NDLEA. The report.
A prevalence of 20 to 40% and 20.9% of drug abuse was reported among students and youths in Nigeria, with the commonly used drugs abuse include cannabis, cocaine, amphetamine, heroin, codeine, cough syrup, and tramadol. Most addicted students, according to findings, sell their properties just to get high. The SUG president of the Delta State University Warri campus and some students described the move as a welcome development which will help curb students' involvement in drugs.
Drug tests by NDL for the students on campus, I think it's a welcome development, and it will also help to fight against the use of drugs among students on campus. And not only fighting, it will help to identify those who are using drugs, so that a measure can be put to see how they can rehabilitate them. Because a lot of students have gone astray, and even parents have sent them to school, they could not study again. And I believe maybe it's as a result of the economy, and a lot of them are depressed because of what's happening to them.
I think it will help to curb the idea of drug abuse, because it's like a pandemic right now in Nigeria, and it's just not about it has gone beyond gender. You find both male and female abusing drugs, and if there's a test, it will discourage many people from going into drugs, but they know that without the test, without passing the test, they might not get into higher institution, and it will help to bring sanity to this.
Is a good approach to curbing drug abuse among young people, considering the fact that is a whole lot going on among young people, both male and female. Before we used to think it's just for male, but now both male and female engage in drug abuse, and it has to be taken care of as soon as possible, because it's destroying our community, our environment, and our youth.
On the solution to curb the menace, the SUG president called on the federal government to include education of drug abuse in students' curriculum.
That's through education. I think the government should add it to our curriculum. It should be taught as a major course. And not only that, the counseling unit in school should also emphasize more on how students can come out of it by counseling them, educating them on the effect of drug abuse and how it will affect their head holistically. The parents can also discuss about the use of drug among their family, and the community can also carry out outreach to educate people on how to come out of this drug abuse.
Awareness should be created, even within the school environment, seminars, talk shows on the effect of drug abuse and all that. From the home, parents should talk to their children about drug abuse.
Although the NDLEA, under the leadership of Brigadier General Buba Marwa retired, is doing its best in apprehending drug traffickers across the country, more energy should also be directed towards increased sensitization in our institution of learning to help check the menace among students and youths in Nigeria. From Delta State, Dele Fason reporting for Galaxy TV News.
You're still on to Galaxy Primetime News. We'll quickly take a break, and when we return, the news continues. Just stay with us. We're glad to have you back. Stakeholders in the health sector have called for increased sensitization among members of the public on how to prevent, diagnose and seek treatment of tuberculosis, often known as TB, and Brucellosis ulcer, another public health concern, particularly in Nigeria. Breakthrough Action Nigeria, an organization sponsored by USAID in collaboration with Benue State Ministry of Health, raised the concern during its quarterly media review meeting in Makurdi, where they called on the people and those with TB to undergo periodic tests to ascertain their health status, stating that TB is curable and a treatment is free. While they informed that children are becoming vulnerable to tuberculosis even at the age of 5, a situation they described as worrisome, particularly in populated communities, also called on the people to watch out for Brucellosis ulcer, as a total of 351 cases have so far been recorded and need to take action. The organizer commended the role of the media in its efforts creating awareness for public health safety.
The burden and the severity of TB is still very much, especially if not treated. I can tell you that this disease is still out there. causing damages. For Borrelia ulcer, it's just because diagnosis has been low. I can tell you these cases are in the community. Currently, we have about 351 cases that have been diagnosed, but not all of them have been on treatment.
Tuberculosis are diseases that has treatment and cure. The test, the treatment, they are all for free. It's not a death sentence. They should make sure that people around us, or whomever has been coughing for more than 2 weeks, should just dial or call the toll-free number. We offer these services free of charge with the help of the National TB Testing and Leprosy. The drugs and the treatments are available.
Residents of communities near the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) are experiencing environmental degradation over toxic chemical release that has killed plants in the residential areas. The chemical release since Wednesday has caused widespread damage to vegetation and animals, raising concerns about the health and safety of residents. We have details in this report.
Environmental degradation is a process through which the natural environment is compromised in some way, reducing biological diversity and the general health of the environment. This process can be entirely natural in origin, or it can be accelerated or caused by human activities. A community in Kaduna State has been affected by these environmental challenges, largely which is affecting both plants and animals. The alarming report emerging from Kampan community in Chikim local government area of the state alerting a severe environmental and public health crisis that demands immediate attention. The community says the Kaduna Refinery, a subsidiary of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, has been releasing toxic chemicals that are not only killing local wildlife but also devastating crops and making community members, particularly children and women, gravely. The situation threatens the livelihood of local farmers, exacerbates food insecurity and undermines the overall health of the general public.
Not knowing that it was a chemical of the refinery that exploded from, although we don't know what exactly happened, but I started seeing my chicken. One of my the chicken is a big one. We saw the dead body early in the morning.
Last week, Thursday, when this whole thing started, on Wednesday, everyone checked their ground, they went to farm, everything was alright. On Thursday morning, we woke up and started seeing that some places, some farm have died immediately. Especially if you go up, it killed maize immediately, turned them white. So here it didn't affect because we are not more near the refinery. Because if you go up, you'll meet some farms that there's no green, it has turned white.
The ripple effects extend beyond Kapam community. They pose a significant risk to the broader Kaduna State, potentially endangering the health of surrounding communities and ecosystems. This crisis raises serious questions about the commitment of government to protect its citizens and the environment. Allowing such dangerous practices to continue will not only tarnish the government's reputation, but also ridicule its stated goals of sustainable development and public health protection. The incident has sparked outrage and concern among community members who are calling for compensation for their crops killed by the toxic chemicals.
How we feel bad? Well, now we feel bad. We do not expect this thing that will happen. We feel very bad, very well. Some of us, my friend, especially this my younger one, she's not well, man. Oh.
Start for the farm, and then after the farm, we come here our body. They do us anyhow. We go here like your throat go be it go the dry. Either you go feed your body the kind thing like you know get power. So even they weak.
I myself I did not vomit. Because it is my throat now that I'm feeling this thing, the pains. So when I went there, I told them I'm feeling pains because we are from medical district test. They test my BP. They said the BP has raised up. I said yes, I have the BP too. I have it. Even ulcer, I have ulcer, and my chest too is bending. So VP is always, when things happen, it will happen. You will feel it.
The team, led by NNPC's Mahmoud Ibrahim, said they will do all they can to ensure the relationship with their neighbors doesn't go bad, as they promise to look into the unfortunate situation.
They are even our security. When they are here, nobody will attack our facility. So these are the permanent role they play. So they play very vital, they provide information for us. And when you look at those who are working, 90% of those who are working, they are all from this community. And I promise them, by special grace of God, we are going to look at their grievances, we are going to find it.
Decisive and comprehensive action in response to the crisis in Kapam community is needed. In addition to investigating the root causes, the government should provide immediate support to cushion the impact on the community by mitigating the immediate risks of food insecurity and health hazards.
There is a growing need to clamp down on the increasing rate of violent extremism across the Nigerian state. This was a crucial matter for discussion at Stakeholders Against Violent Extremism, led by the Director of the National Counter-Terrorism Center, met in Kaduna State to seek a strong collaboration with the state government to curb the menace. In her address, the Deputy Governor of Kaduna State, Hadiza Balarabe, says it was a matter of concern that needs all relevant stakeholders' attention.
Violent extremism poses a multifaceted challenge that demands a comprehensive and collaborative response. The recent protests in the north, inclusive of Kaduna State, glaringly highlighted the fragility of our society and our social fabric and security in this society, and this calls for action to meet up with the people's demands, and especially the younger generation.
Specifically, today's visit is to seek Your Excellency's support to strengthen collaboration on the interventions already being implemented by ActionAid, and also to scale up on these initiatives, as government support is crucial for sustainability.
Although we are talking about violent extremism, because that's the focus, but we also understand and recognize that violent extremism cannot thrive if a society is not already permissive to violence in general. And so therefore violent extremism cannot thrive. And so tackling violence in general presents an opportunity to prevent violent extremism. Responding to violent extremism prevents an opportunity to tackling violence in general.
Our administration has set in motion holistic approaches, including supporting security agencies to address security threats, working with traditional institutions in intelligence gathering and deepening engagement with community leaders and a wide range of opinion leaders. This has yielded some results and has led to a sustained peace in our state.
In a demonstration of corporate social responsibility, a philanthropist, Honorable Olakunle Oluwafemi, has flagged off the rehabilitation of McCurfey Road in Bayanduse, Narayi, Chikun local government area of Kaduna State, rehabilitation of boreholes and construction of drainages. The gesture is aimed at elevating the sufferings of his constituents in a bid to provide a safe and accessible route for transportation following the road's deplorable state due to gully erosion. Speaking at the flag-off ceremony in Kaduna, Oluwafemi said that the project was part of his effort to bring development to his constituency and demonstrate his commitment to the welfare of the people, noting that he will continue to initiate projects that would have a direct impact on the lives of his constituents, community members, while appreciating the kind gesture, admitting that the project will significantly improve the socio-economic landscape of the area. In his response, the district head of Narayi, Sule Sarki, appreciated the humanitarian for his generosity, saying that he had demonstrated his commitment to the welfare of the people.
We are just start. This is just a stepping stone and a start. So very soon you see more. We begin to commission more for the people so that they have a better life to live. We're already planning. We have done empowerment of 1 million naira in Kajuru. We have done 1 million in Chukun, 100 persons, especially widows, and we are targeting orphans and the aged. So we have a lot of plans for the robust plan, and we are targeting the youth too.
He put a smile in our faces. May the Lord God Almighty put smile also in his eyes.
Amen. May your days live long. May your days live long.
Amen.
We can now move freely. Cars can move. Everything can work well now. Other politicians, they should try as much as possible. They should do what is right so that all of us can benefit and we can all work together. They should do what is right in our community. Like this one now, we are all happy seeing this work going on here. We thank you very much. They should keep on doing this way and everything will work well.
And now we'll move over to the foreign desk for more news. Hello and welcome to Foreign News. At least 5 people, including 1 civilian, have been killed as violence fled between 2 warring ethnic communities in the restive northeastern Indian state of Manipur, according to authorities. Manipur have been rocked by periodic violence for more than a year between the predominantly Hindu-majority Meitei and the mainly Christian Kukis over economic benefit and government jobs and education quotas. A court had ordered the state governments to share the benefits enjoyed by the Kukis to the Meiteis, fueling the tension. A new round of clashes and exchange of gunfire took place on Saturday in the district of Jiribam, located on India's border with Myanmar. Fighting has been going on between armed groups of both the communities since the morning, says Krishna Kumar, Deputy Commissioner of Jiribam. Report has it that 1 person, a civilian, was shot dead while sleeping and another 4 armed persons were killed in a subsequent exchange of fire. Kosovo has closed 2 of its 4 border crossings with Serbia, the government said, after protesters in the Serbian side blocked roads and turned away passengers carrying Kosovo documents. The closures are the Banjag and Bedare crossings, both located in Kosovo's northern region with a majority ethnic Serb population, came into effect overnight from Friday to Saturday. The protesters were protesting against the closure of parallel administrations that ethnic Serb in northern Kosovo had set up to rival the official ones. The Serbian government in Belgrade, which has never recognized the independence of Kosovo, its former southern province, finances a parallel health, education and social security system in Kosovo for the latest ethnic Serb population. The Serbian demonstrators told media their border blockade would last until Kosovo police were withdrawn from the north of Kosovo and the USOP's institutions are returned to the Serbs. The Ukrainian Air Force said it repelled a massive air attack by Russia across the country, shooting down 58 of 67 long-range drones that were launched overnight. Debris from a downed drone was also found next to Ukraine's parliament building in the capital Kyiv, the Verkhovna Rada said in a statement on Saturday. Air defense units were scrambled into action in 11 regions across Ukraine, the Air Force said. It also said the Shahid drones were launched from 2 border regions in Russia, as well as from the Russian-occupied peninsula of Crimea. There were no immediate reported casualties from the attacks. The bombardment follows a week of long-range attacks across Ukraine, including a missile strike in the city of Poltava that killed 55 people and wounded 328 more. An attack on Wednesday in Lviv, close to the border with NATO member Poland, killed 7 people, including a mother and her 3 daughters. Still on foreign news, Super Typhoon Yagi, the most powerful storm in Asia this year, has made landfall in northern Vietnam. The storm hit Haiphong and Quang Nhi provinces with winds up to 203 km per hour on Saturday morning. The Indo-Pacific Tropical Cyclone Warning Center said. In Haiphong, news has it that metal roof sheets and commercial signboards were seen flying across the city. One man was killed after winds brought down a tree. It comes after Yagi wreaked havoc on the island of Hainan, a popular tourist destination duped China's Hubei. At least 3 people have died in China due to the storm and nearly 100 injured. The city of Haiphong on the coast of northern Vietnam has a population of 2 million and has faced the brunt of the storm. Power outages hit part of the city, home to multinational factories, on Saturday, while 4 of the North Airport have suspended operations for much of the day. Nearly 50,000 people have been evacuated from coastal towns in Vietnam, with authorities issuing a stay indoors warning. Schools have been closed in 12 northern provinces, including in the capital, Hanoi. Protests are taking place in France against the appointment of Michel Barnier as the country's new prime minister. The demonstrations were called by parties on the political left, whose candidate for prime minister was rejected by President Emmanuel Macron. Macron chose the former EU Brexit negotiator 60 days after parliamentary elections left France in political deadlock, with 3 powerful blocs, of which the left was the largest, but none able to form a majority in the National Assembly. In a televised interview, Barnier himself from the centre-right said he was open to forming a government, including members of the left. However, Barnier's survival may depend on the vote of the far-right party, although they have made clear they will not join his government. The premier began forming a government a day after he took office, following a meeting with Macron. And finally, on foreign news, Boeing's Starliner spacecraft has completed its journey back to Earth, but the astronaut it was supposed to be carrying remained behind on its International Space Station. The empty craft traveled in autonomous mode after undocking from the orbiting lab. The capsule, which suffered technical problems after it launched with NASA's Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams on board, were deemed too risky to take the astronaut home. They will instead return in a SpaceX Crew Dragon, but not until February, extending an 8-day stay on the ISS to 8 months. After Starliner returned, a NASA spokesman said he was pleased at the successful landing, but wished it could have gone as originally planned. The flight back lasted 6 hours after it re-entered the Earth atmosphere. Parachutes were used to slow its descent at the White Sands Space Harbor in New Mexico on Saturday at 23:01 local time. NASA said earlier that Butch and Sonny were in good spirit and in regular contact with their families. Steve Stitch, NASA's Commercial Crew Program Manager, said both astronauts were passionate about their jobs. And that's all we have on the foreign news. And that's all we have on Galaxy Primetime News. Thank you so much for being a part of the news. My name is Nenwangi Mazaka. Goodbye.
You are an experienced radio presenter. Do you know how to tell your stories and engage with